Weekly update, 15th of October, 2021. So, catching up on our premise from last week, this might turn into a two-parter, where I'm going, Steve Peters, thinking that Star Wars and Yes albums and Cerebus will turn into part of the spiritual zeitgeist in the distant future. Not really on board with that one. And couldn't have been 4 or 5 days after I had gotten the parallel comic verses digest from Steve Peters, and the National Post, the Weekend Post, July, what date was it? July 17th? Yeah, I think it was the 17th. And it's Chris Knight, the guy that reviews movies at the National Post, and is you got a few newspapers like that where you have one guy who reviews every movie that comes out. I can't even imagine doing that for a living, sitting watching movies and then reviewing them. So he is talking about seeing the third Star Wars when he was like 13 years old, which probably explains a bit of this. I can feel your anger, he tells the young Jedi, and then strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey toward the dark side will be complete. This is nothing that any of you don't know. And I'm going like, oh, okay, well, sounds like George Lucas dialogue, all right. Luke, the quintessential questing hero, looks deeply troubled, and I don't understand. How can anger directed at evil turn a good person to the dark side of the Force? I finally get it now. All these decades later, young Chris hadn't lived through a pandemic yet. It's like I'm going, oh, come on. I'm figuring this is a parody. He's stringing us along. No, he's completely in earnest. Let me see. Some of these things have gotten a little better, but this was a piece that he read. Toronto writer Ann T. Donahue summed up the feelings of Ontarians in an article titled, "I don't know to not be livid anymore." And he puts in brackets, I think in her anger she left out the word how. Yeah, I think she did there, Chris. The column reeled off a laundry list of pandemic problems, including a lack of paid sick leave, poor provincial leadership, endless lockdowns, and an inadequate vaccine rollout. Some of these things have gotten a little better, but the gist of the piece was that it made her mad, and not just in the way that being cut off in traffic can make you mad. Anger had become her default setting, or, as she said, I don't know how to see a display of positivity and not immediately comment, "Who the hell do you think you are? And aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?" And it's like, and I'm thinking, okay, Chris is going to make fun of this. No, he's not. I can relate. In fact, I wrote to Anne to thank her for the piece, for making me feel a little less alone. Because through the pandemic, I felt a welter of negative emotions toward anything pandemic related, and by extension at anyone in any position of power, real or imagined, political or social, to do something about it. I wake up angry. I go to sleep angry. I think I'm a good person, but if I have a dark side, this is it. And it's been growing. And it's like, I'm going, what, haven't you grown up since you were 13? It started with fear of contagion, of contracting COVID, of spreading it. And Yoda can take it from there. Fear is the path to the dark side, he says. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. It's like I'm going, Yoda is going to get you through the pandemic? I apologize, but Yoda is going to get you through the pandemic? Why don't you just buy some fortune cookies? I'm angry at anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, anti-lockdown advocates, and general conspiracy theorists. I'm angry at any teacher or nursing home worker who refuses to get vaccinated, and more broadly, at anyone who delays or refuses a shot for any reason other than a valid medical one. And those are vanishingly few. I'm angry at any politician who doesn't take this seriously, whether through outright denial, inadequate messaging, or vacationing during lockdown. I am angry that there's been almost no discussion about making vaccination mandatory. If you know Star Wars, you'll remember the black needle-tip spear that Vader used to torture Princess Leia. And it's like, oh, come on. If I could, I'd send one of these scary Imperial drones to every household in Canada, but bearing a sweet, life-saving cocktail of mRNA. It's like, I'm angry that vaccine passports are being debated rather than simply implemented. For a while, I was even angry at the CBC for reporting on the rare side effects of AstraZeneca, because as I see it, anything that adds to hesitancy also adds to the death toll. Why not report on the risk of driving to a vaccination clinic? I once yelled back to the radio. And it's like, yelled back to the radio? You yell back to your radio? Not a proud moment, I know. Yoda would counsel, control, control. You must learn control. Okay, that's up to 7 minutes. I think I might just leave it at that, because me laughing is going to be sending people ballistic who really think this is serious stuff. But there you go. It's like nobody could possibly think of Star Wars in the same category as I don't know, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, the Bible, the Quran, just off the top of my head. Yoda would counsel, control, control. You must learn control. Well, if that's the only place that you can find spirituality is Star Wars movies, then I guess it's better than nothing. Okay, having upset everybody, I'll be back again next week. I hope to see a bunch of you then.